We got shirts on sale. Express your love for the evolutions and the new channel rebrand with an evolution t-shirt and hoodie. On sale now. Also, if you like anime, go check out our anime channel Mystic Sage for awesome anime content. And be sure to follow me on social media so you can stay caught up with the channels and me. Links will be in the description below. The starter Pokemon and their typings. Fire, Water, and Grass. Ever since the beginning, Pokemon has always had these typings as our main starters from every region. Every starter has their own interesting lore, backstory, competitive promise, and versatile move pools. Despite using the same typings for years, the starters continue to be original in their own right, and that's actually quite impressive. But I also think to a certain degree, we all think that at some point, maybe it's time for a change. What I mean by change is the fact that maybe it's time we got new starter typings. 3 typings that are similar to Fire, Water, and Grass in the sense of where there is a typing triangle. Those 3 typings could be Fighting, Psychic, and Dark. All 3 typings are a triangle. Psychic is super effective against Fighting, Dark is super effective against Psychic, and Fighting is super effective against Dark. The typings work, and I think these are the most effective typings we can have in terms of a triangle. On top of finding out these typings, I have also came up with 3 Pokemon choices we could have for these typings, and I think the creativity for these is going to shock a lot of you. I'm very confident that these concepts are the most interesting concept for these typings I have selected today. So the 3 concepts, I will also be including their abilities, move pool, and some stats. I won't be getting into full-blown numbers, but I will at least include the stats that will be dominant in. Okay, I think we're covered on what I'm going to present, and I think you guys understand. Without any further ado now, let me show off these great starter Pokemon. Starting off, we have the Psychic typing. For a Psychic type Pokemon, I could have used the Meditation type Pokemon, a Psychic based rat, a Telekinetic cat, or I could have gone the Espeon route and used some kind of fox concept. The concept I went with though, I think is gonna put a lot of question marks in your guys' heads. Are you ready? I decided to go with a Rhinoceros. Mystic. How in the heck does a Rhino work for a Psychic type concept? Isn't it supposed to be super bulky and an armored tank? Well, usually yes, but the Rhino can also be symbolic of wisdom, peace of mind, and a broader perception over things. All these aspects equate to what a lot of Psychic type concepts are in the Pokemon universe. I think this probably shocked you guys, and let me tell you, you haven't seen anything yet. You're about to be brain blasted. Now, for its first stage on this Rhino Pokemon, I decided to go with Brave, which is a Rhino Calf Pokemon. Brave is a combination of brain and calf. The perfect name for introducing the root of this Pokemon's evolution line. For its base design, it would just be a baby rhino calf with a slightly bigger cranium. The coloration I think that will look great with it is a pink or purplish concept. The main power comes from its horn, and the brain power flowing into it. I know this sounds like Jimmy Neutron, and you're correct to think that, because I am definitely heading in that direction. Brave is now evolving into Rhinover. Rhinover is kind of a teenage rhino, a calf that's almost an adult but not quite yet. Rhinover is a combination of rhino and clever. Now remember earlier when I mentioned Jimmy Neutron? Rhinover is the new Jimmy Neutron. I mean, Jimmy is a teen in the show, so we can make it based off of that. The dude's forehead, you could also land a helicopter on, and Rhinover would be the same. The cranium once again gets bigger, and the body looks too small for the head, and looks to be napping and dreaming. So we have a rhino that's got a big brain, and looks like it's about to fall asleep in the dreamland. Now let's hop into the final evolution, and there I will talk about the move pool, signature move, and abilities. For our Psychic Rhino, I decided to go with Mindosaurus, which is a combination of Mind and Rhino. Now think of this final design as Reuniclus, Jimmy Neutron, and a Rhino all together. A big, huge pink rhino floating in the air, sleeping with pink brain matter flowing around it. If you need help thinking of that, think of a Reuniclus concept. Let's also not forget the massive airport cranium it's got too. This is going to be James Isaac Neutron's brain when he reaches adulthood. Any Jimmy Neutron adult you've seen is thrown out the window. We're using this concept, I don't care. Now let me just get its signature move out of the way, memes aside. I want the signature move to be Brain Blast. This isn't a meme video, I swear, and the Pokemon from here on out actually gets better. Brain Blast is going to be a psychic special attack that gets stronger the longer Mindosaurus is out. The longer you have her cranium friend out in battle, the stronger the move Brain Blast gets. For every turn the user is in battle, this move increases by 10 base power, starting at base 80, but caps off at 130. As you guys already kind of have figured out, Mondoceros is going to be a special attacker with also a huge stat in HP and semi-high defenses. For stab moves, we have Psychic, Calm Mind, Dream Eater, Hypnosis, Psyshock, etc. For coverage, it would have Energy Ball, Shadow Ball, Mystical Fire, Dazzling Gleam, the usual Psychic type coverage. Lastly, for abilities, we have a brand new ability taking the place of your typical Torrent, Overgrowth, and Blaze ability, being Intellect for Mondoceros. Intellect is the same as the usual start abilities. Whenever it gets to 1/3 of its max health, Psychic type moves will do more damage. For hidden ability, I decided to go with Analytic. Analytic increases attack power by 30% if you move last. So stack that with Brain Blast and you will have the smartest kid in your class. So, out of the 3 starters, I've been thinking about this for this new type triangle. This one is for sure my favorite. For the Dark starter, a friend of mine and I talked about a snake Pokemon, but as it evolves, it becomes a Gorgon for its final evolution. I present to you Emophidian, the Dark/Fairy Ophidian Pokemon, and our start for this evolution line. Considering that Dark type is the evil type in Japan, I wanted to give off the feeling of an inherently alluring but evil creature. The snake has always been represented as a cunning and sly creature, saying what it needs to get what it wants, and as it grows more and more. The name Emophidian comes from immoral actions and in Ophidian, which from doing some research, I found to be a venomous snake, which can be quite small, and it fits for this base form. Upon evolving Emophidian, it turns into Malice, giving the creature a more grown-up snake-like body, even growing some small hands, showing that it isn't quite where it needs to be yet. The name Malice comes from being malicious, and the sounds a snake makes. Malice is a sneaky creature, and any trainer who comes across this Pokemon will experience some tragedy in the near future. Unlike Absol, who warns for danger, Malice brings it wherever it goes, and I think that fits the theme super well for a snake full of malicious intent. However, a trainer who befriends the sinister creature will be able to control other trainers' misfortunes, and will make for a true threat to other trainers. With its last evolution, Malice becomes Sardusa, a clear inspiration from the legend of Medusa. The name origin comes from a serpent and of course Medusa herself. This Pokemon will learn its signature move upon evolution, that being Serpent Strike, where Sardusa will have the snakes from its hair, lashing out and biting the opponent with a 30% chance to poison the target, which is something brand new. I really like this concept, and as for Sardusa's stats, I imagine it being a fast but fragile attacker with a bigger focus on physical attack. As for its abilities, we have the starter ability for this Pokemon called Malicious Intent, which boosts its Dark type attacks by 50% when its HP is 1/3 of its max HP or less. And its hidden ability is also a brand new one I made up myself called Serpent's Gaze, based off of the gaze of Medusa. Upon entering battle, Sardusa will lower the opponent's speed stat by 1 stage, giving it a speedy edge in combat. As for the moves, Sardusa would have access to countless moves like Thunder Wave, Glare, Toxic, Hypnosis, some stab moves like Knockoff, Serpent Strike, Foul Play, Crunch. For coverage, Elemental Punches, Play Rough, Dark Pulse, Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, Psychic, Psyshock, as well as Shadow Ball. I think this is definitely my favorite out of all the starters though, and it's really cool. For the fighting type starter, we based it off of a martial arts crane. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, like yours truly, then a martial arts crane should be no surprise. Master Shen from the Crane School trained Tien Shin'an and Chaozu in the crane style of martial arts. Now, I could have done a fighting turtle, but Blastoise does exist, and I already named mine Roshi, so... Anyways, let's start its base form. Starting off in its hatchling state with Crapira, whose name is based off of the crane itself and the martial arts style Capoeira. In its youngling state, this bird would learn moves such as Karate Chop and Aerial Ace, but don't think this crane is a flying type. It is abandoned the way of flight in order to master the martial arts. Upon intense training and hard work, Crapira evolves into the new and improved Kranic, now a master of using its legs for combat kinda like Deku in My Hero Academia. Upon this evolution, Kranic will learn Jump Kick, a fierce move with a bit of drawback. The user jumps up high, then strikes with a kick. If the kick misses, the user takes half of its max HP for damage. But just like with Tien Shin'an, he might be down, but he isn't out. From a design concept, I imagine this crane to have some sort of reinforcements on its legs to help it aid with the strong kicks. This is probably my personal favorite middle stage Pokemon with an inspiration I'm something passionate about. And lastly, for the final stage, we have the martial arts Pokemon Krav Maga, which comes from the crane still obviously, and the martial arts style Krav Maga, with versatile knowledge in all martial arts forms in the Pokemon world, similar to our Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, Karate, etc. This bird has mastered the art of ki control, because I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. Krav Maga's signature move will resemble the Dodon Ray from Dragon Ball, but it will be a physical move which will attack the special defense of the opponent. It will, however, look like a beam attack. Other moves this crane can learn are are Close Combat, Drain Punch, Superpower, Knockoff, Poison Jab, Rock Slide, and other coverage moves of the sort. Krav Maga would clearly be a strong physical attacker and would have a solid defense stat as well. Seeing as it's been raised on martial arts its entire life, I personally think this is a very solid concept for a pure fighting type Pokemon and would love to see it as a starter. Well, that pretty much wraps up these starter Pokemon concepts. I have been wanting to make a discussion video like this for a while, and it feels kinda good to create these again. I hope you guys did enjoy these starter concepts though. I know we didn't have designs for all of them, but commissions can be a bit pricey, especially in times like this. But I hope you did enjoy what I did have. Using your imagination is always more fun anyways. Regardless though, which one of these starters is your favorite? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and all kinds of other Nintendo content like Zelda, Fire Emblem, and much more. Also, I've been reviewing every episode of My Hero Academia Season 4 over on Mystic Sage, so head over there if you're into that too. I would love that a lot. Want to support me further and gain cool perks? Check out my Patreon. Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Memory Martin, The Lazy Leo, Matthew Young, Awesome Lego, Jarrett Weiss Austin, Sodden Grider, Nigma97, and Kermit117 did, and I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Gumbrand, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.